Hey, Jody here. In this video, I'm going to make a pocket tungsten holder out of some leftover copper pipe. Let's get into it. I want my tungsten holder to be able to hold full sticks of tungsten along with shorties. So I'm cutting these pieces about 6 inches, and by the time I add the takeout for the end cap and the other threaded fitting, I'll have a full 7 inches and then some. I'll have plenty of room for a full stick of tungsten to go on there. So I'm making this little joint first. And while I'm letting it cool, I'm going to make the pocket clip, which is about 3 to 3 1/4 inches long. And I took a few stabs at this, and the first one I made too thin. It was too flimsy. So I discovered by making it about 7/8 of an inch wide, it has enough curvature to it that it was rigid enough to not give. In fact, it was pretty doggone rigid when I was finished with this thing. So I'm just kind of freehanding a shape here, and I will do a rough cut and I'll radius everything with a flap disc. And just an easy way to cut it is just with a cheap pipe cutter. And these long cuts I'm making on my Swag Off-Road portaband stand. Super handy for stuff like this. And again, I'm just chopping this thing up, and I'm rough cutting it, and then I'm going to finish it with a flap disc like this. Deburr it and everything, radius the corners. And then I need to snip this because I need to pry it apart where it'll slip over that fitting. And I also need to make a spacer plate to go behind this to space it out enough where it'll slip over my pocket. I don't want to try to bend everything to get an offset in it, so I'm going to make a little quick spacer here, and then I'll snip it, I'll split it also, and sort of pry it around, get it to fit, and tap it and massage it with a little small ball peen hammer and get everything on there close enough. It's best to have a really good fit when you're soldering joints like this, but since this is just a pocket clip, it's not going to have to hold water. As long as I get it pretty close, I'll be in good shape. So this is getting it pretty darn close, just some nice easy tapping there, working with it. And I'm cleaned up everything with a wire brush, fluxed everything that goes together. That's the spacer, that's the pocket clip, fluxing everything up, and I'm going to solder this all at once. I don't want to try to solder one thing, have to let it cool, re-clean it, reflux it. You know, again, it's a tungsten holder, not a high pressure pipe. It'll be fine. I can blend off any boo-boos that I have. It looks like that's going to work out. Time to solder. Now that fitting, the threaded fitting, I went with a threaded fitting instead of just slipping a pipe cap over the end, because one thing you don't want to have happen if you're crawling around in a hole somewhere, you don't want the end cap to come off and a bunch of sharp tungsten to go all over the place. So I used this threaded fitting with a brass end cap, and you know, cost a couple bucks more, but at the end of the day, it's going to make for a nicer product. I'm going to be prouder of it, and it'll work better and it won't ever come off accidentally. I'm just polishing it up, and there you go. You could go to great lengths and have something super polished, but I'd rather have sort of a matte finish on it, and that way it'll get dinged up anyway. Several years ago, I switched over completely to using 2% lanthanated electrodes. And that was just to simplify things. I don't want a bunch of different color electrodes in my toolbox if I don't have to. So for me, they're kind of the best all-around general purpose electrode. I shot a video a while back, and I'm going to use some clips off that video, but just a reminder here, you know, a lot of people have 200 amp machines. That's like the most popular TIG inverter, a 200 amp AC/DC machines. There are a lot of different brands, and they're pretty affordable now, and you can do a lot with them. And really, for the most part, I only use a 332 electrode, and I get by for 99% of what I do with a 200 amp machine. Sometimes I'll go down to a smaller electrode, sometimes up to a 1/8, but I don't have to. I can pretty much do everything with a 332 electrode, just prep it a little bit different. So let's talk about the different angles and the applications there. Let's do that. All right, essentially that long taper at the top, that's what you'd want for low amperage starts for things like box cutter blades, really thin sheet metal. All the way at the bottom is a very blunt taper. You'd want to use that for either close to 200 amps, like 150 to 200 amps, or when you're welding maybe on AC, where you're just going to let it ball a little bit on its own. This is on DC, and I'm running a little short bead here and then doing a quick cut and etch, you'll get deeper penetration with this than you will that needle point. Okay, and also, like I said, another use for it is when you're going to weld on AC and you don't want to take the trouble of balling it by flipping the polarity or by turning your AC balance really high cleaning to ball the electrode. Just prep it a blunt tip like that. It'll ball itself pretty much, and it'll give you a nice wide bead that wraps around corners like this for an edge buildup. Especially good at low frequencies. Like I'm running this at 50 hertz. All right, so that's 2 applications for that blunt taper. Now I have found a medium taper like this is pretty much good for any DC application unless you just really need those crisp low amp starts. You can weld all the way down to 5 amps all the way up to 200 amps and still get really good penetration. A needle taper like this, you're going to, up near 200 amps, you might have problems spitting the tip of that electrode into the weld. It just doesn't have the choked down arc plume that the blunter taper has, and here you see shallower penetration. It's great for low amp starts, but you just don't get the penetration. So then the farmer says, keep the duck. Well, hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw here, hit that subscribe button. I support these videos with my online store at weldmonger.com. I would appreciate it if you'd visit there.